Over the last couple of weeks, Wellington's been starting to fire. I've had a few really exciting dives and shot a couple of good fish. But this video is just going to be about one pretty incredible day I had in November. It was just Josh and I heading out this day, and we decided we wanted to try find some new spots on the west coast.
Races on the dashboard, sneaking in the back.
Josh had this reef that he'd kind of dove the shallow area of a long time ago and was really keen to get back there and explore the deeper side of it. So we headed straight there, had a little bit of a sound around, it looked really cool. So we tried to get the anchor on the right spot and jumped in. When we first jumped in, the viz wasn't actually very good and it didn't look that promising. But at this stage we were still much shallower than we wanted to be at the top of the reef. So we keep exploring a bit further out, trying to find where the reef met the sand. As we progressively dove further out on the reef, it started getting better and better. Started seeing schools of tarakihi and some quite large blue moki actually. I think it was about Josh's third dive of the day. He'd gone down and I heard him get to the surface and call out for a second shot. He'd actually been schooled by quite a number of kingfish on the bottom and managed to spear one of them. That was a pretty awesome start to the day and we were both pretty stoked on this and pretty keen to see what else the spot had to offer. It wasn't until we got even further out on this reef that I realised how special of a place it was. I was diving down to these sandy guts between the rocks and there were just fish numbers of multiple species that I'd kind of never seen before like that in Wellington. I finally started to find the end of the reef where it dropped onto sand and there was just this huge school of giant blue moki out there. It was so cool to see how unfazed they were by us divers and they just keep coming back in every time you dove down to them. I was tossing up over whether I wanted to shoot one of these blue moki because I feel a bit sorry for them because they're pretty dumb fish and they already get a lot of pressure from spearos. Eventually I gave in and shot one of the bigger models, and to be honest, I wasn't really prepared for how fast it would run. The moki weighed about 8 kgs, and there are probably 4 or 5 other fish down there, all the same size. For me, this will probably be the only moki I shoot off the spot, and in future I'll just leave the school there to not be hassled by spearos. During one of my dives, I actually saw a whole lot of little snapper down there, and in Wellington, and especially during this time of year, snapper are pretty exciting. So I decided to go grab a burley out of the boat and put it down on the bottom to try and bring a few bigger snapper in to shoot. The burley didn't really attract much here. The tarakihi that were already at the spot were interested about it, but initially nothing else came in. This next dive, I went to the bottom and sat near the burley just to see what would come in. And actually this little kingfish came through the school of mokies, so I shot that. After shooting the kingfish, I decided to do one more dive on the burley to see if anything was on it by now. And unfortunately I don't have very good footage of it, but I got to the bottom and there was this massive 7-gill shark down there. it started swimming towards me and I just went straight back to the surface.
On the streets now, speeding going downtown. Now I'm on the TV. Yeah, I want you to see me. I know.
I'm a bit disappointed in myself for not sitting down there and getting some footage of it. So here's some footage of a smaller 7-gill from a popular shore dive spot a few weeks before this.
I know I need to stop, but I cannot, 'cause baby you're my joy, and now I'm stuck. Now I got some blood on my hands, blood on my hands. I know I need to stop, but I cannot, 'cause baby you're my joy, and now I'm stuck. Now I got your blood on my hands, blood on my hands. Now I got your blood on my hands, blood on my
Then on the way home, Josh needed to get a couple of power, so we just stopped at a random spot on the coast, and while he was getting power, I went and found a couple of crayfish.
This is something you can't sleep on. My love, watch for the Molotov. Pinch my skin, prove I'm not good. I know we are somewhere. I know I need to stop. I know I need to stop. This is something you can't sleep on.
So yeah, this was just a really, really awesome day, and considering it's not even summer yet, I'm just really, really looking forward to what summer's going to bring this year.
I know I need to stop, but I cannot, 'cause baby you're my joy, and now I'm stuck.